Hey, the Bucky and Sully Show, they're moving starting next Monday, January 13th. They're moving to 6:30 p.m. That fragile, by the way, means they're in a moving crate. They had to explain that one to me. That's why I bring it up for a minute, because I know they're not fragile, and they're certainly what they talk about isn't fragile. But anyway, we're here with Mark Gaughan from the Buffalo News. And Mark, let's talk about the defense here. The defense was improved, but yet, you know, the difference between how they played at home and how they played it on the road was remarkable. And, of course, you need nothing more than look at the last two games to see they played so stout against Miami, and then they go on the road against New England. Tom Brady has a very lackluster game in a pouring rain. You'd think they'd be playing in the Bills' hands. They could not stop them from running the ball. They look like the team from last year against the Patriots. Do you have any sense of what went on with that team as far as, first of all, their road performance defensively, and there's still their inability at times to stop the run?
Yeah, I mean, I just rewatched the New England game this morning, and I mean, it was a little bit of everybody. There was Manny Lawson got beat a few times. Mario didn't set the edge on the last touchdown run. Kyle got caught spinning to try to make a move, and they went up his alley. Kiko seemed like the guards, they got outnumbered at the point of attack. Just power football. It wasn't fancy. You know, I really think two things. One, they need another linebacker, and two, I think playing in that system another year will help them. I mean, it seemed like they used a lot of different fronts. I mean, against New England, they tried some real traditional 3-4, playing head up on the nose, head up on the linemen, where they didn't do that a whole lot this year. And they were going back and forth between sort of a 4-3 and a 3-4 look. And I just think that they weren't together enough. And I think another year of knowing what they do best and being another linebacker in the front seven, I think they should be better because the talent overall across the board is there.
Well, I think also you talk about, you know, Kiko Alonso's. I think the league caught up with Kiko. I think, you know, Kiko had a great first third of the season. And then he really leveled off.
Yeah.
And I think teams took advantage of his over pursuit. You look at some of those runs, he would go right past the run, right past the gap. And but you know, they got more out of him than one would have ever expected out of a second-round draft pick. I don't want to run out of time because I want to talk about Andre Reed, because you're the guy when it gets in the room, in the inner sanctum, you stand up and you make the pitch for Andre. Do you think this will be the year for Reed?
Yeah, I wish I had a crystal ball. I'm done. This is the 8th year. He'll be up. Actually, the finalists haven't been announced. They're getting announced on Thursday, the 9th. But certainly every expectation is he'll be in the group of finalists for an 8th year in a row. I'm done predicting. You know, I mean, I've thought he was going to get in several times before. He hasn't gotten in. I still absolutely believe he is going to get in. When? You know, I hope this is the year, but I don't know. I don't know. If I knew he'd be in, you know.
Well, the sense was that Chris Carter, now that log jam has been broken, Carter got in, now it may free him up, and Brown is the other receiver.
Brown is the other, although Marvin Harrison is up this year for the first time. So, yeah, I mean, you know, in the voting, there's a final 15. It's 5 guys fighting, or 15 guys fighting for 5 spots, essentially, not counting the senior candidates. So, and, you know, none of those 15 stink. They're all, no matter what, they're all a lot of great candidates. So, the previous 2 years in the reduction ballot, you go from 15 down to 10, down to 5, and then you vote up or no on the final 5. Andre got ahead, made the final 10. Actually, he's made the final 10 3 years in a row. The previous 2 years, he made the final 10 ahead of Chris Carter. Then last year, he and Chris Carter both made the final 10. Carter got into the final 5 and was elected. So, you know, how does Marvin Harrison's first year of eligibility, and certainly he's going to be among the 15 finalists, how does that impact Andre? Who knows? I mean, I look upon Harrison as being sort of the next. He's played in the 2000s. Andre played in the 80s and 90s. There's 3 receivers from Andre's era, so to speak, in the Hall of Fame: Jerry Rice, Michael Irvin, and Carter. And certainly there's never been an era where there have been fewer than 4 or 5. So I think certainly there has to be room for Andre in the Hall of Fame, and we'll see if it's this year.
Well, certainly I'm prejudiced, but I got to believe he belongs. Real quickly, let's put up the boards, Dave. Looking ahead at this weekend's, Mark, let's get your expert opinion. AFC playoffs, Colts at Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, I think that only once, I think since 2000, have the 2 number 1 seeds both faced each other in the Super Bowl, New Orleans and Indianapolis. I don't see these top seeds, Denver and New England, being slam dunk favorites. I think the Colts will give New England a good battle. I like New England at home. I think San Diego beat Denver in their last meeting, and the combined scores of their 2 games was something like 48-46. So San Diego matches up pretty well, but I like Denver at home. I think Brady Manning in the AFC final would be a great game.
And real quick, your picks for the NFC?
I'm going to Seattle at home is the surest home field advantage in the league, and I think San Francisco is the second best team in the NFL.
Yeah.
I'll go San Francisco.
They impressed me yesterday. Mark, thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Best of luck, trying to get Andre into the Hall. We know you're going to do your best, and we'll be reading your stuff.
Okay, thanks,
Okay.
Bud.
We'll be back to wrap up All Sports Western New York right after this.